and welcome back to World of Warship. Today it's for the new players. I have actually a new account, then I actually want to start grinding it again from the start. And what I kind of experienced that it's kind of a huge difference between cruisers in different nations, battleships, destroyers and so on. So what is the best nation to go towards? What kind of captain are you? Are you a destroyer main, or are you cruiser main, and are you a battleship main, or heck even carriers? I don't know which one shall I start. I personally will start which is my favorite destroyer line, and I'll also explain you why. For the destroyer are quite different playstyle if you want to have a speed demon, but very careful where you are, because one big mistake you are out. I'm talking about the radar, smoke detection, stuff like that. But there is, in my honestly opinion, kind of strong overall. You don't fear not a whole lot many ships, and you are kind of a strong even in AA in many other parts. So for me it's no brainer, it's the Japanese destroyer line. Over here from Fubuki down, guys, Kagero, it's the torpedo boat. However, when you are coming to the Akizuki, Kitakaze and Harigumo, I find them kind of a strong in AA, kind of a strong to deal with other ships, even cruisers. For remember, guys, that Kitakaze and Akizuki, shall I say, does not even fear some US cruiser. Why? They have railguns 1000 meters per second. If you are a max range, a Cleveland have hard to deal with you, especially if you are in Kitakaze, which have better concealment and better speed. The only downside with Akizuki it's their speed, and it kind of a lack in turning radius, but you are a gunboat. But what I'm trying to say, when you have full spec with advanced firing training, with max range, then you have upper hand, because it's very little dodge you do left and right to make sure that all Clevelands or some other US shells will not even hit you, because it takes ages to the shells to come. Of course, if you're facing rail guns like you know, Soviet cruiser, it's different story. You should never engage a Soviet cruiser from any range whatsoever, because it might hit you each and every time. And probably the same story with Italian cruisers. But overall, I believe, guys, without saying too much, it's my favorite line, because I do not quite fear, especially at Kitakaze, no destroyer I fear, beside probably Kaba and Harigumo. But tier for tier, whatever you're facing, you should deal with it, and they have large HP pool. Let me know in a comment below, guys, what is your favorite. But I highly recommend, depending on your play style, but this is the line which, if I have to grind once again, is the one. Let's talk about cruisers now. The cruisers are huge different, and I believe, without saying too much, the Japanese cruisers are extremely strong and good one, like Zao, like Mogami, and especially the Myoko and Furutaka, which in the entire line the Furutaka and Myoko has tier for tier extremely strong cruiser, and it's a lot of fun to play. However, the biggest downside with the entire line, even with the Zao, it's actually the range. Sure, you do have rail guns, it's easy to hit, but you have low HP versus any other cruiser. You have the lowest HP and the lowest range. So in this particular ship, I highly recommend you use the spotter plane, that you increase your range. This is the worst thing about the Japanese cruiser line, it's the damn range. So what is the best range? It's hard for me to say which is the best, which is not so great, and so on. But for me, up to tier 7, and this is the reason I'm grinding, it's the British cruiser line. What they are especially at tier 5 all the way to tier 10, you have heal. By the way, even Denis have heal. So even though, let's say if someone put you on fire, you're not gonna get wrecked. Because you do have this heal, which is something that most of the cruiser they don't. Now you have paper thing armor. Remember, you can be blapped from any cruiser or battleship in one single salvo. But the thing is that then this is makes the reason number one I urge you to grind the British cruiser line. They turn on a dime. They have the best rudder. You can, you know, even though you have no armor whatsoever, but what cruiser tier 4 has any armor, or tier 5? You are not a slug. And by the way, this combination with smoke and heal kind of makes them a little bit stronger than many other cruiser. Are they the best cruiser line? Of course not. I personally believe, guys, without saying too much, that up to tier 7 like Fiji, it's the best tier 7 cruiser in this game. You are so potent and strong. When you have 19 points captain, or heck even 16 point captain, you are feeling the let's say if you're playing your top dog, you are the strongest cruiser in this game. And of course you may argue that Belfast is even stronger, but I'm talking about Tech 3. There isn't any other cruiser we can deal with you. You have too much of a firepower, too much of a torpedo power, too much of a heal, too much of everything to deal with that. So yeah. Now guys, of course you may argue that overall, I'm just saying overall, the role of a cruiser, it's definitely also the French one. The French one, guys, it's not a bad pick. A matter of fact, I highly recommend the French one. What's the special about the French one? It's two things: extremely good long range. Let's say the Algeria has the best cruiser range of any other cruiser in this game. Almost, it's close to battleship range. Guys, so it's extremely good range, more than, I don't know, 17.5 or something like that. Crazy good range. And Chalmatel, it's a little bit improved. St. Louis, not bad cruiser. Sure, you don't have, you know, radar and stuff like that, but you fulfill the role of a cruiser. Speed cruiser, are you good DPM, good HE and good AP. And Henry IV, the reason many takes this in ranked battle and in the you know, EU versus NA server, I'm talking this professional game player, clan versus clan, they always take Henry IV because it's one of the best tier 10 cruisers in this game, with extremely good guns and good everything. I'm talking about overall. Sure, you don't have the best armor, but you have one of the best speed, best guns, hard-hitting guns, extremely high percent to put your enemy on fire. And same story, guys, very fast I will go and say about the French battleship line. I'm not saying they are the best, but let's say Normandy, for instance, have one of the best range in this game at tier 6. So you have extremely good range and very high percent to put your enemy on fire. And then you have those awkward Lyon and Richelieu, Alsace, and the Republique. It's a good, but I'm not saying it's the best, but it's one of the fastest, especially from Richelieu all the way to tier 10. Something else I would like to mention, it's kind of important. The German guys are not bad. I'm talking about the entire line was power creeped, guys. There's nothing wrong with them. It has extremely good guns, long range, good AP. However, you know, the tier 6 and tier 7, I would like to say they are mediocre, and same story with Hipper. Nothing crazy, guys. They used to be stronger earlier, but not so much today. And then of course you have the US battleship, you have the destroyer line, and you have the cruiser line. I'm not saying that they are bad, but it takes this gameplay that you have to hug Iraq or Ireland and stay close to Ireland and come closer to your enemy, because you're never gonna hit a damping at max range. That's the difference between the US and, let's say, Soviet cruiser. But however, for the US destroyer, I feel, guys, without saying too much, that Benham and Fletcher are by far one of the strongest destroyer in this game. Extremely strong. In my honest opinion, the Fletcher, it's even stronger than Goering. Of course, the Goering, it's a improved, but it's a slug, and concealment and everything else, it's way better in Fletcher. I'm talking about concealment and how agile, just turn left and right, and it's a very fun destroyer to play. So I do recommend. It's a mixed between, let's say, Japanese and gunboat build. You have a mixed gameplay. What else do I have to say? Well, same story here with British destroyer. They're not bad. They're pretty damn strong. The only lack about the destroyer gameplay is that you have one of the worst smoke and weird low caliber guns at tier 9 and tier 10. Sure, you have a lot of firepower, don't get me wrong, and they are kind of strong in right hands, and Lightning are probably the best tier 8 cruiser up there. Very fast, I'd like to say the German guys are not bad. They are also a mixed between pretty good guns, very good workable torpedoes, and in some way very strong with ridiculous strong hydro. And you know, the Z46 and Z52 in right hands are not bad. In a matter of fact, they are one of the strongest, because they has this tool that very few destroyers have, extremely strong and long range hydro. They can surprise many others. So, and definitely the firepower. You do not have so many torpedoes, but your torpedo reload a whole lot faster. I don't know what to say, guys, about the Pan-Asian. It's the destroyer line that I find weird to play, because you cannot kill other destroyer in their smoke. If you are a US destroyer and you're facing a Pan-Asian, you can charge that smoke without being afraid of being torpedoed. And that is, for me, the worst thing about the Pan-Asian destroyer line. You cannot torpedo another destroyer, and the other destroyer, they know that they can torpedo you, you cannot torpedo them. So the only thing you can do is to try to gunfight. But the sad part about this is that tier 8, tier 90 tier, it's a pace copy, which, what the hell, play them when you can already have the US. Slight different, some other nation. Actually, they are strong and pretty good to play, but it's dealing very bad versus other destroyer. And then the French destroyer. I never played the French destroyer, guys. Don't get me wrong, they are, in my opinion, tier 9 and tier 10 pretty fun to play. You have a speed demon, but it makes required your professional in each and every map. You have to know your knowledge about the game, and especially where you can be and not be, because you don't have heal, you do not have any, shall I say, tools to deal with let's say, oh, I am in a bad spot, what the heck should I do? You only defense you have, it's actually the kite away. But when there's aircraft carriers who are charged you have no option to disengage. You are no smoke destroyer. It's kind of hard to explain what I mean, but it's a good line if you're a professional and you're an elite player. That's what I'm trying to say. And then it's the USSR. The USSR, guys, it's divided into the battleship line are, unfortunately to say, one of the best line in this game by far. I mean, what the hell do you say about Kreml? And same thing with this ship, or heck, even Sinop, which from Sinop all the way to Kreml, it's close to overpower because of the extremely hard hitting guns and good AA and good concealment and good everything. So for me, guys, even from tier 4 all the way to tier 10, I cannot find one bad battleship, or everyone extremely strong and close to overpower. If you want to grind a battleship line, which I recommend, it's simple. It's the Soviet battleships and UK. When they came first time in UK, remember that Conquer and Leon had better concealment than many cruiser at tier 9 and tier 10. Now it's not that anymore, but I still believe that those two nations, unfortunately, what I'm saying right now, are still the best in the game, because I mean, you don't have the armor of a Soviet, but you do definitely have super heal at tier 9 and tier 10, and extremely broken HE penetration and percent to put your enemy on fire. So yeah, it is what it is, guys. For the Soviet destroyer line, it's absolutely my favorite. I explain you why. From Udaloy and Grozovoy, they are still gunboats, but Grozovoy and also Udaloy in some ways, they have a lot of tools to which some ships they can only dream of. I'll explain you why. The concealment, it's crap in Udaloy, but what Udaloy has that no other destroyer have, it's too many of good stuff. Smoke combined with AA, combined with heal, combined with extremely good torpedo short range, but 15 torps at tier 9 with AA, with heal, with railguns. Yeah, I'm not saying, guys, that you're doing good if you, let's say, playing clan battles. It's more in random battle, and especially with another, let's say, Japanese division. Then this thing, it's a beast, or an even more beast with Grozovoy. That it's become one of the strongest tier 10 destroyer in this game because of large HP pool, AA defense, the strongest AA of all tier 10 destroyers. Smoke, good torpedo, very good torpedoes, matter of fact. Has close to Fletcher's torp, for crying out loud. Sure, you have a tier 10 Fletcher's tier 9, but that's the thing, guys. This is what I'm talking about. The upgraded one, 65 knots, 10 kilometers, and reload time, it's kind of a long reload versus the Fletcher. But what I'm trying to say, of all Soviet destroyer, this is the best torps you can get, you know what I mean? So, and it also has railguns, which can citadel cruisers, some cruisers, and so on. So same thing story, guys. Those two tier 9, tier 10, Udaloy and Grozo, have a little bit too much of tools, and Wargaming, they buffed, and you know, they left the Japanese destroyer line with nerf, and it's not fair, but it is what it is, guys. It's broken. It's a lot of fun. It's a huge, large, easy to hit destroyer, but the survival of this beast, it's high, and the speed, the only really downside, it's a large, big destroyer, all close to a cruiser, and it turns like a slug. But otherwise, it's broken, overpower. I would like to say this is one of the best tier 10 destroyer out there. Together with, I don't know, Z52, or I don't know how should I say, Z52, it's crazy good because the torpedo are so damn fast. You only have 8 of them, but you know, the Soviet has a little bit more, like 10 torpedoes. So let me know in a comment below, what do you think? This advice was for the new players. I personally, if I, let's say, have to grind once again, I will definitely grind the Soviet battleship line, and same story, I will grind the Grozovoy line for the destroyer. For the cruiser line, they are not bad, but the thing is, guys, it's hard to do well in meta that it's very, you know, battleships meta, that you have bad concealment. And because let's say the Dmitry Donskoy, there's nothing wrong with Dmitry Donskoy. The only downside with her, she is bigger than a battleship. The British battleship line, they have smaller battleship than these behemoths, which basically means that even though you have great speed, great AA, she fulfills the role of a cruiser with the radar, with everything. But damn, she's so damn hard. It's easier to hit this thing than on a battleship. You know, weird what I'm gonna say, right? But that's the only downside with the Soviet battleship. They're huge, large, and easy to hit even at the max range, and that is the damn problem. They are too big of a behemoth, but on the other hand, the British cruiser line, they are smaller and smaller, and Minotaur has the best concealment and the best rudder in this game, so it's much harder. Of course, it's paper. You have, it's a definitely a paper cruiser, but it is different when you know you have the best concealment in this game. I'm talking about any other cruiser, so it's different. It's up to your playstyle, but this is what I recommend, guys. Thanks for watching, and let me know in a comment below, if you were a new player, which line should you grind. Have a good one, take care, and bye.